Today we're talking all things south of France, art, lavender, roaming hills, romance, sunflowers, trees. What do you think I'm talking about? Who are we going to be talking to?
You're talking to me about my love life?
Absolutely not, because that's like that's in the,
Snow,
that's in the weeds,
it's a
that's in the
desert.
bushes.
That's just the desert.
I'm talking about romance, lavender, art, love,
The pungency of the earth, the life forces coming,
the coriander, the lavender, the rosemary,
smell of flowers,
the paintbrush, the swirl,
painting naked in the south of France.
the love,
hopefully.
the sunburn.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Mairead and Cosmo Show. I'm Mairead Malloy, Global Director of Barclay International, one of the world's leading introduction agencies.
And I'm Cosmo Landesman, cultural commentator for the Sunday Times and the Spectator magazine.
And who are we talking to today, Cosmo?
We're talking to a very, very talented artist.
Welcome to the show, Fiona.
Thank you.
Very nice to see you again.
Nice to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your art.
Well, I'm predominantly a landscape plein air, meaning out in the open air artist. My favourite place to be would be out in a field of lavender or sunflowers or poppies with my easel and painting the motif as you see it.
Sounds fantastic.
Let me ask you, what inspires you? Is it the colour of the landscape or is it the smell that assaults the nostrils?
It's everything. It's the whole experience. It's being in nature, it's having the heat on your back, hearing the cicadas, smelling the thyme, and just having that sort of peace, switching off everything about sort of life just goes out of the window, and you're there just having that direct contact with nature, and it's in some ways it's just got a spiritual experience, actually connecting and then trying to translate that onto your canvas.
Your paintings obviously have a deep love of landscape. I was wondering, do you prefer landscape to people?
I think, well, the landscape tends to sit a bit stiller than people do. I actually liked the challenge of, if sometimes I get commissions to do portraits, and so I enjoy that too. I enjoy the challenge of having a blank canvas in front of me, switching off the mind. I try and paint sort of fast in order to sort of bypass the intellect, because the minute you start listening to that small voice in your head saying, oh, but the tree doesn't look like that or whatever, then you get into your head, and actually you need to sort of paint from here rather than
So do you
head.
sort of get in touch with nature and the big stuff and all this, life and reality?
Switch off your mind.
Is it a spiritual thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Would it be spiritual for someone like me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we rephrase that question?
Well, I'm just wondering, maybe I should find what I'm trying to find in romance, I should find in art. Maybe I should get my easel and go off there and,
But art therapy is a really valid experience. I think everybody has creativity. For you, it's with your pen on your paper, but I think everybody has a different sort of creative voice.
So would you advise our viewers to start painting again?
Yeah, just paints, crayons, clay. Just letting go of your intellectual mind and just branching out, and whatever sort of creative, flower arranging or creativity in terms of.
Is this? Can I ask
No,
a question?
I'm asking the questions here.
We're allowed to ask a question each one. Fiona,
Yes.
Fee. Sorry, I know that you like to be called Fee. Is this something you've done all your life? When did you start this?
I've always been creative. I've always wanted to make do, but it's only 10 years ago we moved to the south of France as a family decision.
Oh, so that's a great place then. That you're in the heart
Yeah.
of. Okay.
You're really spoilt with everything that's there. And once our youngest child had finished school, I literally went and did full-time art course, and I haven't looked back. I mean,
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. What do you think about Fiona and the whole love thing?
Well, this is what I was going to say. Fiona, I don't want to insult you, but you do seem a bit sane to be an artist. Aren't most artists a little bit loopy?
Good question. I think maybe you just when you're.
Or is
in
that
the
just a
moment,
stereotype?
I think the sort of crazy artist with the smoking the dope and open sandals is maybe a little bit of a stereotype, but I think the sort of the letting go with what you're creating is the sort of maybe the crazy type of.
You know, it brings out her inner loopiness. Maybe the art.
Your
We all,
inner
we all,
loopiness.
we all have an inner
Somebody brings out
loopiness.
your inner loopiness.
I'd like to see your inner
I
loopiness.
don't know if you want to blame her for that. Now, someone once told me, gave me a piece of advice: never fall in love with an artist. Do you think that's a good piece of advice?
Terrible.
Really?
I mean, as an
Why?
artist, why would you not? But we're all. But I've said we're all artists to some extent or other. So.
Right.
Whether you're a chef and it's on the plate, whether you're digital and you're creating something digital, that's to me that's still art. That's still.
Would you date an artist?
Using your
I have done.
what?
Would you think Cosmo could date an artist?
Of course.
I've dated artists, and it's always disastrous. Because most
you
artists,
haven't dated the
most
right artist.
Most
Oh,
artists
God,
are
that's
so
it.
female artists are so self-obsessed. They just talk about their art all the time.
Oh no.
Is that how you see it?
No. Well, that's not how I am. I mean, I'm passionate about what I do, but I like people and I like the interaction with people. So I don't think I would sit there and talk about my art.
Let me
all
ask
the
you,
time.
who's the artist you love the most?
Van Gogh.
And why is that?
Because of his use of colour, his amazing, and I, you know, if you see my work, I love working with colour, with really sort of vibrant colour and the complementary colours. And to me, Van Gogh was you know, epitomises that sort of that way of working, and so that he would be my go-to. Obviously, living in Aix-en-Provence, we have Cézanne, and he, you know, that was his home, but. And Monet. So many of the incredible masters came down to South France because of the light in the south of
Right.
France. And
Does your partner share your love of art?
if I drag him to the museums, and he'll
Does he
whiz
enjoy
around
that?
in 15 minutes, and I'll be spending hours. So he's learning to love.
He better learn to love it.
Do you think we should go down and perhaps do an art course in one of the sunflower
I
fields?
think so.
Yeah, you're very welcome. We've got plenty of beds. Come down, stay. I can give you plenty of rosé and a paintbrush.
She'll go for the rosé. I don't know if she'll do much of the painting.
Any nice artists for Cosmo?
I'll work on it.
She'll work her magic.
When is your next exhibition?
Well, I have a permanent gallery representation in London.
So whereabouts is that?
Cricket Fine Art in
Okay.
Chelsea. They have a gallery in Chelsea and Hungerford. And then I have a lovely gallery too in on Martha's Vineyard in the States. And so I have
We'll come and stay there with you.
Can we go there instead?
Martha's Vineyard, Chelsea, Hungerford, Martha's Vineyard, any of those
Well, I think we'll
places.
go to Martha's Vineyard. We don't want to be slumming it down to. No, we're not.
It might
going
be warmer there, you never know.
to- Fantastic.
We should do that.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Just one question, Fiona. When it comes to meeting somebody, because you know that's obviously my domain. Tell me a little bit. What do you find your inner loopiness? What comes out when you see Cosmo with your artistic style and your talent? Tell me. How would you?
What, am I going to paint? Am I going to be painting him?
Well, yeah. Imagine
Well,
you were to.
you know that you'd have
How
to
would
be
you
naked,
portray him?
obviously, if I was to paint you.
You'll need a big canvas.
No, you know.
Very wide canvas. Don't worry.
They sell these tiny ones.
No, that's no good. That's no good. I warned you. I just want to warn you. Got a big studio, it'll work.
No problem. I could do a painting of the two of you together.
Well, I won't go naked in the canvas. No, let's commission a mini canvas of Cosmo because it's not. It's the big one's not going to work, darling.
The big ones don't what?
Big canvas is not going to work.
I think it will work, but never mind. Moving right along. What are you working on at the moment?
Well, it's very seasonal. So we've got all the almond blossom at the moment, which is beautiful in Provence. And then sort of later on we get the poppies and then the lavender and the sunflowers. So it's a very...
Well, what about the coriander?
Funny, yeah. I haven't
It's
seen
got
any.
nothing to do with the coriander.
Maybe you meant mustard. There's lots of
I
mustard.
didn't mean mustard. I meant coriander.
Yeah.
Is that what it looks like from your bedroom back home?
Wish, nearly. That's very inspirational.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Well, bloody good to me.
These look like poppies, but I don't think they are poppies, are they?
The plastic bags.
Yeah, I love the conifer trees. Those really sort of that's the ones that sort of pointing to heaven. They're a sign of welcome that they French plant everywhere. Yeah.
If you weren't painting there, where were the other place you most like to paint? You look to for inspiration.
Well, it's funny you say coriander. So, and I
See,
would.
I told you the coriander would come into it. Do you
I
know
would
what mean?
love. I would love to go. I'd love to go to India because you know the women and the clothes that they wear are such vibrant
And the
colours
colour,
and
the colour's
saris
amazing.
so yeah, so that
And
would
plenty
be
of coriander.
plenty of coriander, obviously.
Can I just interrupt you for a second? We did speak about inner loopiness, or are we on the same page here?
I don't know.
And when I
can't compete with your inner loopiness.
When we're talking about art, when I taste coriander, I feel it brings out, you know, the artist in me. That's the way it is.
Artist on your plate.
Voila.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Fiona, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for coming in to talk to us
thank
today.
you for having me, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you
And
very much.
Obviously, in your search for love, I'll get on it right away.
We'll work on it.
Excellent.
This is Mairead Cosmo signing off. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you.